bought those?
Yeah, I wish we had.
Oh. Because they didn't want to spend a bajillion on
Yeah.
all cards, and the new cards. I mean, they're gonna have like two.
They just gave us 3 of these cards, and they lasted.
Yeah, I prefer the bigger original cards, but I can't.
But we have to hook a reader up, and it's a pain in the butt. Why can't we just get what's existing? It's funny because the old laptops we had, when we had P2, had this reader,
Oh, they did.
but we didn't have this card. And then we have new laptops, same time, we got cameras, they don't have any readers except for SD. Like, come on, it's your chance to get it right, like, you know.
Yeah, because as many room on laptops as one is DVDs or CDs.
Right.
So there's got to be space in there. But
I'm sure they
had that slot. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
that
sure
slot.
they can add them in there, but you know, it's $50 for a laptop. And then, save as much as we can.
Yeah, because we had the card readers, and my card reader went out because they tested the cable. They're like, the cable's fine. I'm like, well, yeah, but the card reader's dead.
So then you got your
It
camera.
should be coming in
Okay.
like 90 seconds.
Oh, okay.
They're like, yeah, we're not going to replace that card reader. I'm like,
So
okay.
you need your camera or card reader.
What's up, Austin?
Good to see you.
Good? Yeah. Hi there.
Mom can sit right here. Want to sit right here?
Okay, so right here.
Mm-hmm. Can sit right here. And we can have one of the attorneys. Come on. Come on. Come on, right there. Come on, right there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Come on, right here.
Sorry, you sit up.
Right here. Right here.
I saw you here. Oh, okay, she's going. You want to come?
Or you can, huh?
I was telling her, have her scoot down. Have her in the middle. She's, no, that's you.
I'm gonna sit. Let me slide a
No,
chair.
you sit here. I'm
Okay.
good with not.
No, she needs to sit right here.
Oh, okay.
Right
You
here,
gonna
so I
sit
can
right
start it up.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You sit there.
And then we'll go from there. And then Kevin, you.
I'm okay.
Okay. All right.
It's okay, then I'll sit there.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on. We can come close. Come closer. All right, just a few housekeeping rules to the media. I know that we said that we were going to give some information over. Fortunately, we was having something wrong with our servers, so we are going to get that over to you guys. And that's included a video as well as the police report and several social media posts, inboxes that were given sent to the victims over the course of their social media posts. All right. Hello, y'all. I'm Minister Dominic Alexander, president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network. We are here today with 29-year-old Nikia Robertson, and as well as 29-year-old Brianna Knox. We are also attended by her family. Both of their mothers are here. Other extended and immediate family are also here. Also, the law firm representing Ms. Knox and Ms. Robertson, Tucker Law Group, Glenn Tucker is the actual attorney. Just to put a little few housekeeping rules, we will not be answering any questions in regards to the legal process, in regards to their defense from a civil claim in this situation at the wishes of the attorney. But I also will pass it over to the attorney for comments as well. On Saturday night, Ms. Roberson and Ms. Knox, just after just a long day of work, and you have two young individuals who are mothers, also college students, and don't get a lot of time to be able to go out and just have a good time. So Ms. Roberson and Ms. Knox, after the holidays, felt like they wanted to let their hair down and just go out and enjoy. And they chose to go to our Deep Ellum area here in Dallas, entertainment district, and go to a club, a very popular club in Deep Ellum called Harlow, Dallas. Once arriving at Harlow, Dallas, there is one long line where people are getting let in, and there is a second line to the left, which is really unincorporated, skip line. This is a line where whoever the security feels like he wants to show special favors to, he can do. And why I say that is because Harlow doesn't actually, unless they're having private events, doesn't sell tables up there or whatever. It's pretty much, come as you are. Once they arrived, of course, the weather, it was pretty bad outside. The security officer asked them how bad did they want to get in. And of course, with the weather being like it is, they immediately say, let us in, and the security officer said, well, if you come in, you got to show love to the bar. So Ms. Knox and Ms. Roberson immediately went to the bar, where they were the bartender, where the bartender gave them a series of shots. I believe, if I'm saying this correctly, after the second shot, I believe Ms. Roberson became immediately ill by it, and expressed to Ms. Knox that she felt a little bit under influence. And Ms. Knox replied, said, girl, you couldn't have got drunk on just 1 second shot. And I believe after the third shot, I believe Ms. Knox immediately felt ill after that. After a course of time, they was approached by a gentleman, a person, another security officer there. And that security officer automatically assumed. Now, Ms. Knox and Ms. Roberson never told anyone that they had lost their keys, Ms. Roberson's keys. And it was kind of that he immediately came and said, hey, if you lost your keys. And so as they began to leave, Ms. Knox received a text from the security. She never gave the security guy her number. Ms. Knox immediately received a text saying, hey, you can come home with me. You can Uber to my house while we find Ms. Roberson's keys. It was quite baffling to them because they never gave him the number. And I'm so grateful today that Ms. Knox and Ms. Roberson was able to call immediate family to come and get them that night to make sure that they are safe. And so that's pretty much, and I'll bounce it off to them, and I will definitely make a statement from the Next Generation Action Network standpoint. Harlow is no stranger to these type of actions. The Next Generation Action Network has received several complaints against Harlow and other bars and clubs throughout the Deep Ellum. Yet at the end of the day, nobody do not have the, like Ms. Roberson, forward to actually say what is going on. A lot of times, women are yet killed, women are yet attacked, women go through several different things that men to go through. by just coming forward, because at the end of the day, when they come forward in situations like this, their immediate, the immediate reaction that they get from is, oh, you're a party girl, you probably did this, you probably edged it on, you probably was too promiscuous. All of those things they are hit with immediately. So I just want to thank Ms. Robeson and Ms. Knox for their courage and strength to come forward, and ask that everybody in an effective situation like this to come forward, to speak out, to actually have the courage and know that there are organizations like the Next Generation Action Network and Tucker Law Group who will defend you in making sure that we investigate these claims. I want to make sure that you guys know that they have filed a police report with the Dallas Police Department on Monday. On Monday. There is a police report number that I will share with you guys later. And also outside of that, they did immediately that following day they did go visit the hospital where they received a toxicology report. What I will do is I will allow the legal team to express further later on the results of those toxicology reports also. But I do want you guys to know that it did confirm what we all allege. There is also, because we know it's very popular when people go and celebrate, they normally, go on Snapchat or Instagram story to show their little shot and boomerangs and all of those things. And unfortunately, it showed a substance inside of the drink. We will also share that video later. I'm going to pass it over to my left and then my right. Which one is better? Which one? Okay, okay. I'm gonna pass it over to Ms. Knox first to the express. Now, I'm going to make sure the lawyer's over here, so if y'all ask the question that she shouldn't be asking, I ask that y'all kind of wait till afterwards so that we can be able to gather, so that it doesn't interfere in the legal process. All right, so as we, Ms. Knox make a statement, and then I bring up the attorney, and then we're gonna ask as many questions as you can. Ms. Knox, one of the things I want her to be able to do is express the impact that this has had on her, and why it was important to go out this night, and just the impacts that this had on her. Ms. Knox? Pass it over? Okay, perfect.
Those
Those two things.
far right can stay.
Okay.
So I'm just, let me start off.
Everyone good?
Saturday night, my best friend had reached out to me. She was originally going to come out to East Texas where I live, and we were going to have a game night. It just so happened that she was able to get a babysitter, and she was like, we need a girls' night. She was like, come out, we can go have a few drinks and just be out for a couple hours and have time. So I was like, okay, it was last minute, so I made it to her house around 11. We went to Deep Ellum to Harlow's. I had never been to Harlow's. I feel like as a mother and in general, as a worker, as a student, it's imperative that you have this. Life can be stressful and it can be a lot. So it would be beneficial to just get out physically to look pretty, to just de-stress. Off of 3 shots, I should not have felt the way that I felt. Ultimately, the way that I feel about the situation, and the reason why it was so important for me to speak out, is because it happens to multiple hundreds of women, and it even happens to men as well. And a lot of times people are scared to come forward, or they face repercussions. But decided to speak out to get justice because at the end of the day, I almost did not make it home to my daughter. And I love my daughter with all my heart. So I'm not only fighting for me and my best friend, but I'm fighting for our kids because it could have ended way worse than it did.
Awesome.
My name is Brianna Knox.
Spell it for me.
It's BREYANNA. My last name is NOX.
I'm Nakia Robertson. I'm the best friend that she's speaking of. That night I did inquire that we go out because we both are single moms and in college and we hadn't been out in a long time. I just had a baby this year in January, so I've been a lot of occupied helping her and helping my 7-year-old with school, and I just wanted to have a good time. And it just really hurts me, the fact that you can't even feel comfortable going out at night and to just have a nice time out with your best friend, and scared that you might not make it home to your children. Especially like I just had my daughter, so she could have lost me before she really got to know me. And that hurts, knowing that I couldn't have made it home to them. I would just like for this information to get out there as much as possible to any other victims that have experienced this, because I know that it's hard to come forward because of all the comments that you might get from people. But it's important for people to know that this is happening, and it will continue to happen if people don't do something about it. I'm just very thankful to God that me and my best friend did make it home, and that we had some people pick us up in the state of mind that we were in and make sure that we made it home safely to our children.
So I'm going to pass it over to the attorney from the Tucker.
We're not making a legal statement, however, if they do have a question, I don't mind.
Okay, perfect. So what I'll do at this time, I will, do the mothers, y'all have anything to say? Anything to share? Just, you can, come on, all right. We can pass it over. We just side it over. Yeah, I don't think you wanted us to move that one.
Oh, okay.
I'm Kimberly Hargis. I'm the mother of Brianna Knox. It hurts just to know that your child experienced something like that. No mother wants to get that phone call, but I got it. And as unfortunate as it was, I knew that go to the hospital, get your system checked, find out what's in your system, and report it to the police. Because I told her and I told her friend, I said, we don't want this to happen to anybody else. And I said, if they did that to y'all, this is what they do. And I said, it's important to put a stop to it so no one else gets hurt or no one else gets killed. Because no mother wants to be dealing with that type of information that their kids are going through. Something such as being drugged. And to Harlow's and to whoever did that to my daughter and her best friend, shame on you. And you have a higher power that you will have to answer to for what you have done. And that's all I have to say.
Can you just say and spell your name?
First name is Kimberly, and it's Kimberly. R-L-Y, and the last name is Hargest, Hargest. You're welcome.
Robertson.
My name is Tamara Robertson, Tamara. Last name is Robertson, Robertson. I am the mother of Nikia Robertson and been like a godmother to Bree since they were in elementary school. And like Miss Kimberly said, it was hard knowing that my child could have been was victimized and could have not made it home to her children when they just wanted to go out. And she's right, she's not a clubber. She don't normally do that. Normally, if they're gonna have a drink, they do it at the house. They're usually the designated drivers for other friends. And it's very, very frustrating and hurting. Her father and I have been pushing them, make sure that you contact the police. Make sure you contact Harlow's, even though they failed to follow up, even though Harlow's failed to show any sympathy whatsoever with them. That hurts even more. For the people that were victimized before them, my prayers are for them. My prayers are for my girls. I want them to be addressed so that it doesn't continue to happen. We can't stop everything, but if we can stop them, maybe they can stop them from doing it to someone else. Maybe they will get the message, because that's horrible, that's evil. To do something like, what can you get out of hurting other people? It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I've seen these girls cry every single day since this has happened. They're not sleeping, they're not eating, and it's heartbreaking. And I have a younger daughter that's 13 years old. I don't want her to have to ever go through anything like this. It's horrible, and I just want to see justice for them and other victims. So if someone else is out there that has been victimized, speak up. Speak up. Thank you.
We will open up for questions, but we want to make sure that people know that Harlow has failed to respond properly and respectfully to these young ladies, which is highly disrespectful, rather than trying to sensitize or clean up their social media after several people posted. And I want to be able to let people know that Ms. Knox and Ms. Robertson has received so much support in inboxes and people sending pictures and saying, yes, this happened to me, and we know the security officer, we know the bartender. They actually sent them the picture. And that's how we can conclude and say, hey, you know what I mean, that this is not new to them from a standpoint, because it's been an outpouring of so many different messages. And we will share with you guys those just messages, because I think those are important just to see how organic and how it was shared to them, all right? So what we'll do is open up for questions, and we'll do it one at a time.
So what are next steps? I mean, you have your attorney here. What are the next steps? What are you hoping will come of this? Because as of now, you're saying you haven't heard anything from the restaurant. You filed a police report. What is your hope from speaking out, and what kind of justice will be served?
Well, first of all, we know that there are two legal and state entities that have jurisdiction to investigate this situation. Of course, that's the Dallas Police Department and TABC, the Texas Alcohol and Beverage Commission. And of course, I know that the legal team is assisting Ms. Robertson, Ms. Knox, with that TABC. I know that, like I said before, the police report has already been filed. We know that Dallas Police Department is investigating this situation. We want Harlow held accountable for the situation. and we want their TABC license stripped. You do not get away with this and still operate business as usual, and not have some sense of accountability and structure to it. This could have went totally bad. We know, and we've had cases in the past where, you know, me standing, you know, the crazy part is that I'm sitting here doing this press conference, and normally I'm not sitting with the victim because I'm sitting with their mother, because these unfortunate tragedies always end. And we are in an opioid pandemic, right? We know what's across this country. And you know, these girls didn't know what was put in their, you know what I mean? Which could have been a horrible conversation that these parents would have had to have with their children. So yet at the end of the day, this is not something where you say sorry and we just go on business as usual. You have to be held accountable in clubs. And we put every club of Texas on notice. We need to make sure that our clubs are having appropriate measures to ensure the safety, because we know that TABC puts that liability on them, not these individuals sitting beside me. Liability, and yet we upheld it. The Dallas Police Department to have a thorough investigation. I know that they're cooperating with being able to send them anything that they are asking to make sure these individuals are held accountable. There was a security officer that texted these girls to lure them to his home. It's text message is proven, it is really posted or whatever. So, you know, someone has to be held accountable in this situation. And the fact that he was so comfortable in doing that, just let us know. We're all human beings. We all understand. We all see different things on the TV. We realize that he's no stranger in doing that type of actions. And they wasn't the first person. And that's just my opinion. And I hope that Dallas Police Department can have a thorough investigation to be able to prove that. And I feel like what this will do, if our local law enforcement as well as our district attorney can have that appropriate investigation, we can prevent these other things from happening in the future. Any other questions?
Is there a distinction between the club and the security people there? Is there any question about who did what?
Well, you know, I'm not going to relay any distinction, whether it's a private company or not or whatever, when whoever the owner or general manager signs whatever employment or ownership contract, all the liability is Harlow. You know what I mean? It's not our job to do, you know what I mean? When you put that person in charge over that door and you put that person in charge over that bar, you know, it's really out of our, you know, lane to who's who, because all of them are representing or a representation of Harlow. And yet at the end of the day, the lack thereof of this entity reaching out and following up to these young ladies, this happened Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They've had more than 72 hours to have a decent conversations with these young ladies, just a conversation that even like say we're sorry, what can we do, whatever it may be. None of that. That has been total silence. And so I hope that you guys can go there and ask them that question. We will share with you. They were when they went to the business that day on Monday. Sunday. They were able to meet a gentleman by the name of Derek Jones, who is the operations manager. And Derek Jones gave them the information. Derek Jones promised that they will be following up. That promise has never been met to this day. So don't worry, I will share with you guys the contact information over there. I don't want to broadcast anybody's personal information. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not for us to litigate. It's for us to seek accountability towards this issue. Any other question? All right.
You mentioned the video?
Yes.
What's on the video?
The video, you see, Ms. Knox, Ms. Robertson, Ms. Knox, literally, basically holding up the drink or whatever as they were, I guess it was Instagram story or Snapchat, they were snapping. And so they held the drink up and you can literally see. And I believe they were later reached out to and shown that they literally, posted the crime, basically. You can see the substance basically bubbling in there. You can see it inside of Miss Roberson's drink, right? As they hold it and they post it. Of course, they didn't know, you know what I mean? Someone else saw it as they later on shared what happened to them, and they went back into their Snapchat and was able to pull that video down. And we'll be able to share that with you as well.
Following up on that, what did the toxicology report show was in your system?
We have that information, and we don't mind sharing it with you. But I don't want to misspeak, and I don't have it in front of me. So we'll make sure that we do share it, but I will say that there was drugs in the system, so.
Do you remember the name of it?
Yes, in my system, I had amphetamine, like speed. Unfortunately, the hospital did not have the capability to test for the date rape drug, but the doctors did say that our symptoms were significant and basically also showed signs of that as well.
So they have that information, and I'm so grateful that they were able to immediately go to the hospital so that DPD can have a thorough investigation going forward. Any other questions? I know that the Next Generation Action Network will try to have try to make sure that we can hold this club accountable from an advocacy standpoint. And of course, we want to make sure that anybody that has had a situation like this happen to them, please contact our office. Please contact our office. If you can contact Tucker Law Center or whatever, whoever, please, we want to know who have been affected by this. And we ask that if you do not want your name or information publicly released, we will have that confidentiality. But we want to ensure that this situation is not isolated. And yet at the end of the day, we want people to know that your silence is yet violence. Thank you so much.
Any motivation that you can think of why they would do this? And I know it's speculative on your part.
You can't reconcile motivation for a predator. It's a sick-minded person. I can't even reconcile the type of thought process or whatever they may be thinking. They're predators. They're individuals who prey on young women, and we know that this is not an isolated issue, that this has continued to be yet a problem from the history of this country all across the world. And yet, these are predators who prey on young women in order to entice them into or force them into sexual actions. And that's the reason you saw this young lady being encouraged to come to someone's house. Now, mind you, when someone is under the influence, they're not reconciling the understanding. If I lost my keys at a club, why should I go to your house? The average person under the influence is not reconciling that. And yet they're going to be like, okay, and they're going to go. And before you know it, it'd be like, okay, we're not looking for my key. It's a lure mechanism. And I believe that the appropriate authorities should be able to investigate it. And at least monitor this club and understand what is going on, because that doesn't make any sense to me. I lost it here, and you want me to go to your home. Yet this is the actions of, to me, it seems like an operation that has continued from from the security person at the door all the way to the bartender to the security officer. I don't know what's going on. I'm not the investigator. I'm just the advocacy person that can lay out the theories of what's going on. And guess what? One thing that baffled me is this text message. It lets me know that this is not isolated. This is not something that that the owners of this club need to thoroughly investigate their employees and what I mean. I don't know, but I know that what Harlow has done to the community of Dallas has lost the confidence in Dallas. And at our position, I feel like that Harlow should be closed because yet at the end of the day, when you lose the confidence and the trust of the citizens of Dallas, you have to be gone. So I'm grateful to the community for their support to addressing this situation. But what I will not do is give validity or even try to understand the thought process of a predator. Yes.
Were the keys ever found? Who have them?
No.
Keys have not been
No,
found.
no. She had to make a replacement key the next day. And you went to go get your car the next following day?
Yes, I had to have my car towed to the house.
Okay.
And then, quick, sorry.
No, you're good.
The drinks, were those drinks that you all like sought out to go buy, or were they just given to you? Like,
We've tried to,
We
yes.
bought them directly from the bartender. He set them directly in front of us.
did you
She-
buy them?
She did try to buy them, like, she kept trying to give him her card, and he was just, like, acting like he couldn't see it, like, waving her off, but we did try to buy them. We weren't trying to get any free drinks that night. We did come as customers and just to have a good time.
All right. Anything else? All righty, thank y'all. We can go to